The assassination of the Fon Esu, His Royal Highness Albert Kumachu II, last March 9, 2022, was the culmination of several attempts to get rid of him by Mr. Baba Amadou Dampulo, who is bent on legalizing his ownership of massive communal land he illegally and forcefully usurped in Esu. His Royal Highness Fon Kumachu II had vehemently refused to collect colossal sums of money as bribe from Mr. Baba Amadou Dampulo to sign off the land. By doing so, he became an obstacle that Mr. Baba Amadou Dampulo needed to eliminate so he can obtain the signatures he needs to claim ownership of the approximately 10,000 hectares of communal land he has usurped in Esu. The twofold plan is rapidly unraveling, as reports are reaching our international office. After assassinating the incorruptible Fon and the second phase to enthrone a stooge as the next Fon of Esu is underway. Leaked phone records obtained by our team indicates that Mr. Zo Agustin has been chairing various meetings with some of his inner circle, to include Mr. Go Fukam Julius, Mr. Me Pascal Kuhn, Ms. Matilda Me, and Mr. Gideon Chu. Their deliberations have led to this moment to execute Mr. Alahi Amadou Baba Dampulo's plan. Who is the stooge that has already been chosen and encouraged by Mr. Nzo Agustin and his team? Mr. Robert G. Mebu. After the death of his father, Fon Mebu II in 2007, Mr. Robert overtly threatened to enthrone himself if the designation and enthronement of the next Fon delayed. Mr. Baba Amadou Dampulo's file has been a priority to Mr. Robert Nyi. He pressured His Royal Highness Fon Albert Kumachu II to sign documents to give ownership of the land to Dampulo. Mr. Robert G. faked documents claiming that Fon Mebu II had signed away the community land to Mr. Dampulo. He desperately wrote a letter to the government of Cameroon to support Mr. Dampulo's claim that the late Fon Mebu II gave him the land as a gift. Mr. Dampulo is enabled by Mr. Robert G. Me and the likes of him. Fon Kumachu II was dragged to both the Wum Lower Court and the Bamenda High Courts in an attempt to pressure him to do their bidding. Mr. Dampulo lost all the litigations he filed against the Fon. Mr. Dampulo, with his manager in Esu, Mr. Saleh, tried hard to smear and frame His Royal Highness Kumachu II up for treason. It was alleged the Fon of Esu was behind the importation of arms from neighboring Nigeria into Cameroon. Unfortunately for Dampulo, the conspiracy was leaked. In a resolution meeting called by Governor Lele Lafrique and the former Prime Minister, Mr. Philemon Young, in Bamenda. Among several Esu people present at the meeting, only Mr. Robert G. Me attacked the Fon of Esu for refusing to give away the land to Mr. Dampulo. In 2019, following the appointment of Mr. Momo John Dedu as Cameroon's Deputy Minister of Justice, Mr. Robert Nyi led an illicit delegation to visit the minister in Yaoundé. In front of the press, and without remorse, Mr. Robert Nyi lied that he was representing the Fon of Esu. Robert G. Mebu is the person Mr. Baba Amadou Dampulo and corrupt government agents have retained to succeed the assassinated Fon of Esu. That is the name on paper. That is the name being discussed in Yaoundé. That is the person who shall deprive 40,000 Esu villagers of their farmland, as he will sign over the ownership to billionaire rancher and ruling CPDM Central Committee member Baba Amadou Dampulo. Our sources reveal that money is being dispatched to Esu to corrupt quarterheads and kingmakers to designate Robert G. Mebu. The assassination of the King of Esu is drawing international attention to the heights of corruption and sabotage in Cameroon.